What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about 3 traits men fall in love with. But women often ask me how to make a man fall in love with them. Well, I'm not the wizard, so I can't make a man fall in love with you with advice alone. But I can tell you what has deeply affected me and caused me to love a woman, along with other men I've had this conversation with. See, men more often than women fall in love with function. How he functions with a woman as a result of her in his life and how they function together. We more often than not fall in love with a woman's effect on us, not her potential. Contrary to how many women fall in love. Not all, of course. But before I dig into this list, the 3 things that men fall in love with, I definitely want to give you guys an announcement. I'm doing a series on dating and relationships for single successful women. Over the years, I've met a lot of them coaching, and needless to say, dating is particularly hard for this group. This series will be free, absolutely free. But I will upload them here private and unlisted for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 being, those types of videos can alienate people who feel like they can't relate, which is understandable. Reason number 2 is they don't get many views at all, so it's not really worth pissing people off or alienating people when YouTube is just going to flop the video anyway. I still feel like those women need help, so I'm going to upload them in a different way than I would normally upload videos. So with that said, click the link below if you want access to the free videos that I'm making about helping single successful women. They aren't sales videos, they're just normal videos. Helpful and genuine like everything else on this channel. As the series unfolds, I will send you the links to them personally. So click the link for access to those free videos, the first of which is already uploaded. Now onto this topic. The first trait or the first characteristic that can make a man fall in love with you or lead to him falling in love with you is being a woman who will just let him love you. I know it sounds kind of simple, but for some people, it's hard. Women who can accept a gift or a compliment or a favor from men graciously make men feel more valuable. It makes him feel like there's a space and or a purpose for him to fulfill in your life. For guarded women, this can be hard. Women often forget that men love with their actions more often than not. It often looks like them feeling responsible for or trying to take responsibility of things that aren't their job or responsibility. It's easy to love a woman who first accepts your love and then allows you to act on your developing emotions for her. Oftentimes, when a woman rejects a man's favors and compliments and attempts to act on his emotions, it may feel like she's rejecting his love, or would in the future if it developed. When you accept what he's offering, to him it feels like honor and validation. You've said without saying that how he loves is good enough, and it's the type of love that you need. It empowers him and it encourages him. And because of that, he will ultimately seek more action-based validation. The power to validate anyone leads to them growing stronger in emotions. So many women often wonder why the guys that they friend zone stick around so long after they've expressed to those men that they don't have a chance. Verbally anyway. It's because some women continue to accept the love actions of their male friends openly and enthusiastically. That acceptance and enthusiasm is like a drug. It makes them want to keep caring for you and doing you favors and fixing your problems. It grows their love because your allowance of this behavior makes them feel more masculine. And in this same way, the men you are romantic with crave the validation of knowing that you accept his acts of love and kindness. Showing excitement when the men you date offers you goodwill, gifts and favors and compliments and etc. makes him seek out more ways to make you happy and put a smile on your face. It gives him a purpose. From that point, making you smile and feeling that appreciation that you give him becomes his goal. There's a common misunderstanding. To be independent means to not need help or anything material. It does not mean not to accept help or anything material. There's a difference. If you want a man, accept what he offers and let him take care of you in the ways that he attempts to, even if you don't need it sometimes. Just kiss him like you mean it and thank him as if he just saved the day. It will only make him want you more. And remember, men aren't trying to save the day of any woman that they don't want more from. So it's always a good sign. You want to nurture those feelings. With that said, the second thing on this list, or the second characteristic that makes men fall in love with you, is the ability to inspire and encourage him. A lot of people don't realize this, but in a romantic relationship, a woman's ability to inspire and encourage her man is intoxicating. To have faith in a man and believe in him, sometimes more than he even believes in himself, is so powerful. Even if a man is resistant to love, he'll find himself emotionally conflicted if he's inspired by you for too long. The ambitious seek motivation, inspiration, and encouragement from their spouses. Knowing you believe in him is like a battery in his back. Story time, I remember breaking up with an ex once, and I was pretty messed up about it. When I'm particularly bothered, I write things down. So in an attempt to make sense of my feelings, I wrote down a pros and cons list. Now to this day, I hardly remember anything at all from that list, which was 2 columns and spanned the length of the whole page. But I do remember this. Con, she no longer believes in me. That was the most hurtful part about the whole thing. It's the only thing I remember from that list. It was why I couldn't go back. It meant she no longer could inspire me or encourage me. And unfortunately, that was a deal breaker. So contrarily, when a man on his journey sees your genuine faith in his ability to become great, it empowers him beyond measure, causing him to want you by his side long term. Admiration, faith, and respect are validation. Validation of the man he is gives a man a sense of security. And which of us, man or woman, doesn't cling to that type of security in the right person? Moving on. The third trait or characteristic that can help a man fall in love with you is, I guess this is kind of like 3. Patience, selectivity, and wisdom. I guess all into one. I hope some of you who are watching this video have noticed what's not been mentioned thus far. Early, unlimited, unearned access to a woman's body. And or premature control of her heart. When that comes before those things that I mentioned earlier, a man knows that he wasn't chosen for any good reason other than attraction and fantasy. The ideas that I mentioned earlier in this video can't happen in an inbox or a text message thread alone, or at a club, or on the first date. They take a little time to develop. Men are absolutely observing your process, how you fall for them, what's required of them. Women who require some study, thought, and effort to win over. Selective women, they receive a man's true intention to love more often, because the fact that you're selective but have chosen him makes him feel special. This is the male equivalent of feeling like the only girl in the world, or the only girl in the room that women always refer to, or being the one special woman who gets the popular guy that all the other girls want, to finally settle down. What an honor it is for the choosy to choose you. It's not enough to say to a man, I'm picky. He has to see your layers peel back gradually, even with him. He needs to feel as though he's done a thing that few others could have done. So if you just jump in bed with him and determine that he's the one without taking your time or making him prove himself, he may feel as though he could have been just any damn body and impressed you. And that makes you appear simple. And who yearns for the approval of? Who works hard to impress? A simpleton. The patient and the selective woman appears more wise. A wise woman's approval, faith, encouragement, motivation, and inspiration is 10 times more powerful and impactful than a hasty lover's. This is because we, all humans, are wired to seek out what's rare and special. Anyway, that's all I got. I think I've rambled enough. I hope I've done enough to spark a thought or an idea in your head. Single successful women, please feel free to click the link for your free video and access to your free series. Follow me at KFig24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.